Distinguished guests, dear friend, welcome. We're standing at the dawn of a new era. With the passage of Genius Act and Stablecoin Act, and with USDC now officially recognized as cash, digital finance has taken a historical leap forward. What was once a vision of the future has now become today's reality. This transformation means that digital currency is no longer confined to speculation or concept. It is now entering the mainstream financial system, powering payments, commerce, and everyday transactions. Banks, business, and consumers alike will experience a faster, safer, and more efficient financial world. More importantly, this breakthrough unlocks vast opportunities, from cross-border payments to cooperative settlements, from smart contracts to consumer services. This value of stablecoin is being redefined, and financial landscape is rapidly modernizing. Today's gathering is not just about policy or market. It's about embracing our historical opportunity. Let us step forward with confidence and together welcome this new era of innovation. Right now, let us officially begin our conference by inviting Robert Handa, technologist, inventor, investor, pioneer of early smartphone innovation, including safe car technology. Right now, please join me in giving him a warm round of applause as he delivers our opening address. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, you can go to the stage.
No teenagers here. Everyone here looks very experienced.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
all right. Okay.
I wondered when Jeannie invited me, when she asked me to come first, I thought, was this age before beauty? Or what was, who am I? Bob Dylan moved to the village in 1969, and he wrote a song about the man nobody knows. And I moved in 1975 to the village, and I've had times in my life where I've been very well known, and times I have not. So many of the topics we're looking at today, I have looked at, and because I'm a little bit older, I've had the opportunity to work very, very deeply with some of them. Early in my career, I joined a company called Ziff Davis Publishing. People don't seem to know about it today, but quite an important publishing company. At one time, owned 60 publications. And I reported to the head of a division, which was 22 of those. And my boss took that division from 250 million to 3 billion in 8 years. That was the kind of boss I had. It helps to have the right boss for sure. 1981, one of our publishers approached me and said, he's a publisher of aviation and aerospace, different publication, business publication. He said, could you figure out how to put this online? I said, well, let me give it a try. Well, 3 weeks passed, and I came back, and I brought this little box about this size, and put a telephone handset into it, and we dialed a number, and it went, this noise. And at the hyper speed of 30 bits per second, magically things appeared on the screen. I was one of the first 100 people in the whole world to create online content. I didn't know how to do it, I just figured it out. And the guy asked me, so I did it. So I was there at the beginning, and I know a lot of those people, some have died, I know a lot of those people, and it's a very, very special group. I was there at the beginning of PC Magazines. If the CEO of Zip asked me to take a look at something, magazine published 3 issues, and the angel investors wanted out because it looked like it was losing all the money. And Philip, of course, not the CEO of Zip at that time, Bill Zip's cousin. And so I looked at it, and then Philip phoned me up. I went to the NYU. The only computer at NYU was in the library basement. And I went there and punched holes in little cards and such. And I get a call from Philip, and he says, "What do you think?" He said, "I think this is a big one, but it's going to cost money." And he said, "How much should we pay for it?" I said, $2.4 million is the number I've come up with. Okay, a 45-second phone call. We bought it. 1983. 1998, it was worth $2.4 billion. It was probably the most successful magazine in human history. 400 pages every 2 weeks. This was like 2 to 3 inches thick. There was no printer in America that could print this. Only one could do the 400 pages. And fortunately, online comes, and so we can have much more. Walter Wriston at Citibank about that time, and by the way, that's it, was about 12 blocks away from here. Walter Wriston at Citibank, about 10 blocks away from here, decreed information about money isn't more important than money. Basically, information is money, which applies to what we're talking about today. And so the information about has enormous value. He asked a young lawyer to find somebody to create an information business. Turned out I was the guy, and I started it, and I integrated 1984, 6 years before Bloomberg, 7 years before Tim Berners-Lee. I created a single browser, single user interface to 20% of all online content in the world. Dow Jones, Knight Ridder, Standard & Poor's, Financial Times. This is 6 years before Bloomberg. And it went wide. I opened offices in Hong Kong, Tokyo, London, Brussels. Customers in 20 countries, 40% growth per quarter for 10 quarters. John Reed donated money for the MIT Media Lab. 100,000 employees at Citibank. Suddenly, I'm one of the 2 liaisons. I didn't go to MIT. But John Reed looked at this thing I created every day. I'm 10 layers down. And in the next few years, I'm about only 2 people between me and him. But so, first browser, 20% of all content in the world. I had URLs. They were not called hyperlinks at that time, but they were hyperlinks. They were, since 1984, they were called hyperties, same thing. We just weren't smart enough to call them hyperlinks. And real-time streaming, foreign exchange, and so on. Pretty much everything in the business financial industry. Our first content provider was The Economist, about 2 blocks from here. Marjorie Scordino was the head of The Economist. I spent one afternoon a week there for about 4 months. Got to know her very well. And that was the first content we created on it. Okay, I'm talking too much. But she later became head of the Financial Times, Pearson, the most powerful woman in the world. And there was a young guy working there on my project called, he later became president of the United States. I won't go into the details. At Citibank, I was very active in AI, natural language processing. I spoke at the AAAI conference. So I've been with AI since then, not always active, but extraordinary. Leaders Magazine, which is published by the head of communications for Ronald Reagan, named 13 world thought leaders in technology, and I was one, along with Negroponte, Carl Sagan, and so on. Along the way, I created the smartphone, first 3 generations at Citibank, as a partnership with Philips and Citibank, and then a partnership with GTE, which is now Verizon. And created 10 separate technologies, including SIM card, that were patented. Graphical interface on a phone, browser on a phone, voice over internet on a phone, and so on. Now today, just kind of wrapping this up, I am replacing the World Wide Web. I see this as a Web3 Associated Conference, and maybe I'm a heretic standing in front of you. I'm replacing the World Wide Web with a new neural network. The web connects content. You go somewhere on the web, you're going to a file. The browser, you go to IP addresses, connect devices. That leaves about 98% of everything out there that's not connected. So I'm creating a neural network and everything is connected. You, me, and we can connect directly. No intermediaries, no search engines, no social networks. If I write something about GPT-53 and you're interested in GPT-53, boom, you'll get something about that. AI becomes the router. So basically, I'll kind of wrap this up, but there's stories about the blockchain. I view content, I standardized it, made it into Lego blocks, 200 types of Lego blocks, and I put it in content containers. Standard is the cheapest way to ship it, hash it, secure it, register it. And these content containers will go into a content chain because content information is money. We can do the same thing with that we're doing today with money.
Thank you so much.